4 victims, 3 generations of a family gone, 1 man behind it all. I'm gonna take a deep dive into the quadruple murders of a beloved family, and I will discuss the events leading up to their deaths and the man who murdered them in their own home. "27-year-old Samantha Drummonds, her 45-year-old mom, Tanisha Ofori Okufu, her 64-year-old grandma, Dolette Hill, and Dolette's 58-year-old partner, Denton Burke, were a close-knit family in Southeast London. Dolette had worked as a housekeeping assistant at Guy's and St. Thomas's Hospital in Westminster for 21 years before retiring in 2018. Dolette was also a dedicated churchgoer who would go on charity missions to Ghana and give children who'd lost their parents clothing, food, and toys. Dolette was also diagnosed with breast cancer in August 2021, and so her daughter Tanisha, who was a qualified nurse, lived at her home located at 14 Delaford Road in Bermondsey, southeast London, in order to take care of her. Dolette's partner Denton, who was a chef, also lived at the home, and they had been in a very happy and loving relationship for many years. Samantha had her own place, but it was being renovated, so she took her cat with her to stay at her grandma's house for a week. Now, Samantha had a 28-year-old boyfriend named Joshua Jack, who was an avid pot smoker since the age of 12, and he was a drug dealer. They had known each other for years, but a few months before the killings, they started an intimate relationship. On April 24th, 2022, they went shopping at a supermarket that afternoon. He had bought a large amount of food as he was planning a barbecue, and also bought presents for Samantha's family. They had then visited the family at Samantha's grandma's house and spent the evening there, and it was the second time that Joshua visited the house. But the night did not end on a happy note. You see, according to Samantha's pal, Rutania Ford, at 7:23 p.m. that night, Samantha called her and said, "My partner's got mental health, and we are just trying to sort him out right now. We just need to get him something, some medication to calm him down." Rutania also heard Joshua in the background repeatedly singing, "I'm coming home." Then at 9:42 p.m., Samantha sent an iMessage to a pal named Ayo Omosuyi, which said, "He's calm now, and being around the right energy and people can really help." Obviously still getting the meds. But things did not calm down from there. At around midnight, the neighbor heard a whole bunch of noises. She heard things like a cat screeching, banging, a struggle, a male voice cursing, and even a fall down a flight of stairs. These disturbing noises went on for over an hour, close to 2 hours. The neighbor had looked outside but didn't see anything, and tried to go back to sleep, but the noises continued, and so she decided to call police at 1:42 a.m. When police arrived at the house, they tried to open the porch door, but it would not budge as the door was blocked. It was discovered that Denton's body was blocking the door. He was lying face down on a foldable clothes rail between the porch door and the stairs. His legs were directly behind the door, and his torso was in the hallway, and there was a large cut to his throat. Then the 3 other women were discovered dead in the kitchen. They were heaped together, and so police had to separate them. Samantha was wearing a top under a denim jacket, but was naked from the waist down. She had died after sustaining multiple stab wounds to her back, side, and neck, which caused internal injuries to her lungs, liver, and right kidney. Dolette was wearing a pink nightdress and underwear, and when paramedics cut away her upper clothing, they discovered multiple wounds. She had sustained multiple stab wounds to her shoulder and chest, with the fatal injury being a 21 centimeter deep stab wound to the left side of her chest that had gone through her heart. Tanisha's wounds were seen on her upper chest, neck, and upper back. She died after suffering from a 12.5 centimeter stab wound to the left side of her chest, which had gone through her heart, as well as cut injuries to her chest, neck, back, and left thigh. Denton had suffered multiple injuries to his face, mouth, and body, as well as a significant head injury and fractures to his face and jaw. Police then went upstairs to the bathroom, and they could hear Joshua's voice. He had been on a call with his mom, Norma, where he had said, "Going to end things and going to make a sacrifice." Police forced the bathroom door open, where they saw Joshua, nude, lying on the ground in a praying position, on his knees and his head down, calling out words like, "Allah, take me, kill me now, get rid of me," and "God, please forgive me," while also singing, "I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Lord, I am sorry." Joshua was tasered as he did not comply with police instructions and had been shouting and displayed deranged and violent physical exertion, also periods of complete stillness. He was then taken to the hospital, where he had admitted to the stabbings. He said, "I ain't even in the wrong. I did them for sacrifice," and also warned, "I will do something stupid again." He was then taken into police custody. At the police station, Joshua carried on coherent conversations with police, and although he admitted to manslaughter, he tried to make a case for diminished responsibility, which is when an accused person is absolved of any liability for his criminal act if they suffer from an abnormal mindset, basically arguing that he was mentally unwell at the time and should not be held responsible. Those who knew the victims were shocked about the quadruple murders.
Kind, loving, caring people. Wouldn't hurt a soul. None of them. All God-fearing people, do you know what I mean?
I can't live without Tanisha. I don't know how I'm going to live again. I don't know where I'm going to start my life and end up with it. I can't live without her. I'm totally destroyed. I'm totally finished.
In December 2023, Joshua's murder trial commenced, and his criminal past and mental health issues were brought up in court. Joshua had 11 previous convictions for 20 offenses, including for cannabis, robbery, and being in possession of a silver knuckle duster. His first mental health assessment was in April 2016 after seeking hospital treatment for drinking water from a toilet. He had been arrested after he threatened to stab and shoot a security officer, and while in police custody, he threw food in his cell. In 2018, he was detained under the Mental Health Act after he was seen praying in the middle of a busy road in Brixton, South London, and was in hospital from April 27th to around August 7th of that year. Then in February 2020, he was jailed for 51 months for conspiring to deal heroin and crack cocaine and possessing cannabis. Expert psychologists on behalf of the defense and prosecution agreed that the killings took place in the course of a psychotic episode, but opinions on what caused it varied. But it was argued that the killings were committed in the context of psychosis caused by Joshua's voluntary self-intoxication with high-potency skunk cannabis interacting with his increased aggressive behavior, deep-rooted in his antisocial personality disorder structure. Evidence before the jury showed that Joshua had doubled his consumption of potent skunk cannabis, consuming 7 grams a day in the weeks leading up to the killings, as well as MDMA, or ecstasy, and he had taken a mix of drugs and alcohol that led to a transient psychotic disorder, which doesn't meet the requirements for a defense of diminished responsibility. At the sentencing hearing, Joshua wrote an apology note which said, "I would like to say to the family of the deceased that I am truly and sincerely sorry for all the heartache I have caused them. I am disgusted with myself. I cannot believe that I am the cause of this monstrosity." In a victim impact statement, Tracy Ann Henry, the daughter of Dolette and the sister of Tanisha, said her mom had recently been successfully treated for cancer. She said her mom had her last radiotherapy session the day before she was murdered. Tracy Ann, who is the aunt of Samantha, said, "How could someone kill 4 people in one night? It is like something from a horror movie." Danny Ofori Okufu, the husband of Tanisha, said in his impact statement that he had cried like a child after the incident. He said, "I am a proud man, and I have cried like a child in front of so many people." The jury deliberated for 2 hours, and they found Joshua guilty of 4 counts of murder. He was sentenced to life with a minimum term of 46 years for the murder of his girlfriend Samantha and her 3 members of her family. It was reduced to 45 years and 301 days, including time he served on remand. Family of the deceased were happy about the outcome of the trial.
It has been a very long time coming, and just the first word that comes is grateful, sadness, but filled with joy, because 4 things, important things and people and lives were taken from us, and today we heard what we felt like we've waited over a year for.
That is all for now on this case. Let me know your thoughts on it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you next time on Melanin Mysteries.